I'd like to call the meeting to order. The board, the board invites everyone to join us in a moment of silence followed by the Pledge of Allegiance. We just have a few announcements. The board meetings are broadcasted live over Comcast Channel 28 and Verizon Fios Channel 32, and are live streamed on our district website as well as recorded for future broadcasting. The purpose of this special meeting is to adopt a proposed final budget for fiscal year of 2021-2022. Mrs. Harder, do we have any public comments?
We do not.
Thank you. I will close public comment number 1. At this time, I will turn the meeting over to Mr. Steffi, our business director.
Thank you, Ms. Rivera. Board should have received a copy of the 2028 this past Friday. That was revised today based on information provided by Dr. Lee on some positions that were added. That has been forwarded to the board through board docs, the revised 2028 that has all the budget detail. Our 2028 has a zero tax increase this year. We have a very short presentation on some of the changes that have occurred from budget presentation 3 until today. Basically, we had another increase, which is very good news. As we had stated previously, our district is very heavy commercial and business for our real estate taxes. And when things are going well, our total assessed value tends to go up much faster than our neighboring districts. And when we're in a economic downturn, we go down much faster than our neighboring districts. And hopefully this is the beginning of a trend. As we stated over the past few years, we've seen a pretty dramatic decrease in our assessed value. From January until May, you see we had an increase of $1,030,710. That happened back in February, and our most recent update from the county indicates that our total taxable assessed value has increased another $470,000. So in the last several months, our total assessments have gone up approximately $1.5 million. This most recent increase results in a increase to our real estate taxes of $72,500. Couple that with the $1,030,000 increase, and since January, just the increase from our taxable assessments has increased our real estate taxes by close to $250,000. When we look at the development of the Armstrong site, that's going to also increase our assessments over the next couple of years. So I think we're optimistic as far as the growth in our real estate tax values. Another change, Dr. Lee provided me with positions, and like I said, the 2028 was revised today, which is on board docs. It's different from the one that was forwarded to you on Friday. The positions that were added are an HR specialist, supervisor of operations and transportation, social worker, purchasing specialist, supervisor of innovation and instructional technology, district-wide athletic director and MTSS coordinator, coordinator of federal programs, bilingual secretary and secondary curriculum director position was eliminated due to restructuring of central office. There are several Act 93 positions that are located in here, but just to give an update, as of 2017 to now, the number of administrative positions has not changed. So we've reduced the number of administrative positions back in 2017. This brings us back to the current level of administration that we had 4 years ago. Just as a summary, our proposed final budget, the numbers that have changed from the Friday to today, total estimated revenues of $158,759,000. Total estimated expenditures, $162,948,000. We have contingency budgeted in those expenditures. When you factor that out, the projected draw on fund balance is $3,588,673. This is without a tax increase. And again, I just want to repeat, typically in a year, we do not spend 100% of our revenues. If we go at 99%, that's $1.6 million. We typically get about 1% higher than what our projections are in our revenues. That's another 1.6. So even adding all these positions, you're only looking at a draw of several $100,000 of a fund balance. This year, we're projecting that we're going to have a surplus, and the last 2 years we've had a surplus. So it's reversed a trend from 7 consecutive years where we've had a decline in fund balance to 3 consecutive years that we've added the fund balance. So our financial position has changed dramatically. I do want to caution, though, that this does utilize a large amount of federal funding that will go away in 4 years. So you have federal funding this year, you have federal funding next year, and you have federal funding 2 years. So for the next 3 years, you're going to have that money. That federal funding is used as a stopgap because we project that once the economy and COVID is over, our tax base will start to grow like it had been growing in the past. This does not reflect any change in state revenues. We're hopeful that there will be some. We're not hopeful for a lot, but we're hopeful for there's some. And we're hopeful that there will be some type of modification to charter funding that would help Bensalem greatly. So we're cautiously optimistic with this budget. Any questions?
I have one. Where is the budget that you said was posted today?
402, section 402.
Oh, sorry. That is the current final one that's, okay.
That's correct. That reflects the changes that I was given. So we redid the 2028 and revised all the numbers today.
Okay, and the only other thing I wanted to clarify, the monies being, they were added to the budget, but it's more of a just in case those positions have not been approved before we start getting, when did that happen, kind of?
Okay.
We are in process, we are aware, but they have not, I just want everyone to know that they have not been approved, because it says they were added for future. I just want that to be clear.
Okay.
I don't have any questions, just one comment, which is, I think it's wonderful to be optimistic that charter stuff is going to change and we're going to be able to pay a reasonable amount, but I just don't plan that way.
It's not, yeah, I agree with you. Yeah,
So we're not anywhere close to it.
I got you.
Okay, thanks.
What was the federal dollar amounts that were?
In this year's budget, it's over $5 million that we're utilizing. The district is receiving well over $16 million. 20% of the $11 million portion is required for educational purposes, for learning loss. And so we got two trunks, of over $5 million and an $11 million that totaled to $16 million. and we're using 5 million, a little over 5 million this year. We're proposing to use 55% of the remaining amount next year and 45% of the remaining amount the third year. And the other thing, this is just the proposed final, and again, any changes, any modifications that the board so desires between now and our meeting in June, we can still make. This is not anything etched in stone, so anything that the board decides or changes its mind on between now and that June meeting can be modified as well. This is a perfunctory. We have to, by school code, approve a proposed final. Has to be advertised at least 30 days before your adoption of your final budget, and that's a state law requirement. Okay, that's it then.
At this time, I'd like to ask Ms. Woods to read the resolution for the adoption.
The proposed final budget for the fiscal year 2021-2022 will be available at the school district's administration building for public inspection 30 days prior to the adoption of the final budget. Adoption of the final budget for the 2021-2022 fiscal year will be held on Wednesday, June 23rd, 2021 at the Dorothy D. Call Administrative Center Boardroom, 3000 Don Allen Drive, Bensalem, PA, 19020 at 6 p.m. 2, that the proposed final operating budget reflect revenues of $158,759,758 and expenditures in the amount of $162,948,431, with the differences between the level of expenditures and revenues being addressed by the drawdown of $4,188,673 from the fund balance be approved for the fiscal year commencing July 1, 2021 and ending June 30th, 2022. The grant revenues and expenditures be approved pending receipt of awards estimated to total $8,014,621 for the fiscal year 2021 and 2022. 3, that the committed fund balance, which stands at $16,671,193 as of June 30th, 2021, is anticipated to be $12,482,520 as of June 30th, 2022. 4, that the millage rate for the real estate for 2021-2022 fiscal year be tentatively set at 164.9508 mils, and that a discount of 2% be allowed on a payment of real estate tax within 60 days of date of bill, and that a penalty of 10% be added on payment made after 120 days. 5, that the following taxes be tentatively levied. A, Real Estate Transfer Tax Act 511 at 1%. B, Occupational Privilege Tax Section 3007 at 10. C, Mercantile Tax Section 3013 at $25 per license, 1 mil on annual gross wholesale business, and 1. D, Business Privilege Tax PL 1257 at $25 per license, 1 mil on annual gross wholesale business, and 1 1/2 mils on annual gross retail and personal service business. E, Public Outdoor Parking Tax Section 3001 at 0.25. F, Vending Machine Tax PL 1257 at $80 each mechanical amusement device, $55 each jukebox, $15 each vending machine charging over 5 cents, $15 each vending machine charging over 5 cents, $15 each service machine. 6, that the secretary of the board be authorized to advertise the proposed final budget and the enactment of taxes for 2021-2022 fiscal year, that preparation of the necessary tax resolutions be authorized. 7, that the Board of School Directors shall continue its authorization of June 16, 1976, to grant senior citizens property tax assistance in accordance with the definitions and schedules set forth in the board's resolutions as amended. 8, that the Board of School Directors shall continue its authorization of June 11, 1975, to send all interim taxes, Act Number 110, for collections to the Office of the Township Treasurer throughout 2021-2022 fiscal year for processing. 9, that homestead property owners be entitled to avail themselves of the real estate tax installment payment plan adopted by the Board of School Directors on April 25th, 2007. The due dates for the established installment payment shall be September 1st, October 16th, and December 1st of the year of the tax levied. The business owners and all other non-homestead property owners be entitled to avail themselves of the real estate tax installment payment plan offered to homestead property owners with the same due dates. This is in compliance with legislation of 2011, which mandates such a plan for small business owners. 10, that the Board of School Directors approves the resolution that homestead and farmstead exclusion real estate tax assessment reductions are authorized for the school year beginning July 1, 2021, under the provisions of Homestead Property Exclusion Program Act, part of Act 50 of 1998 and Taxpayer Relief Act 1 of 2006. Do I win a prize?
Second.
When you were talking about the drawdowns for the last 7 years, I thought you said we'd have no drawdown this year, and she just said 4 million. So which way was it?
No, so for 7 years leading up to the 17 or the 18-19 school year, the district had a drawdown on fund balance. This year, we're projecting no drawdown. Last year, we didn't have a drawdown, and the year before, we didn't have a drawdown. Next year, we're projecting a drawdown of several $100,000. I know it said $4 million, but we have in our budget contingency of $600,000. So, and typically in a year, we don't spend 100% of the dollars that we budget. We typically spend about 99%. 1% of $160 million is $1.6 million. We typically earn about 101% of our revenues. So that $4 million draw, when you take out the $600,000 and a more, I don't want to say realistic, but well, it is a more realistic number, is a drawdown of several $100,000. This is for budgetary purposes, PDE. You're not allowed by school law to exceed your budget. If you think you are, then the board would have to reconvene and we would have to adopt a new budget midway through the year. So that's why most school districts, you're very conservative in your budgeting practices, as all our school districts, and that's what this reflects.
Thanks, that clears that up.
Thank you for this great work, too. The taxpayers, it looks like we're going to go with no tax increase, so that's very good. I noticed you wearing the same shirt I did. Well, I guess we were at Old Navy the same day.
It's old man shirts.
Old Navy.
There you go.
About that. Did somebody second the motion? Okay. Is there any other questions on the motion?
I have a comment. So, sorry for arriving late, but I understand in your budget presentation, you mentioned additional positions. On this list, there is, first of all, they haven't been approved, as I understand Ms. Nicholas made comment already. But this coordinator of federal programs, was not the title that has been floated. That's it, that may be. That is correct. It was specifically, where'd it go? Some type of supervisor of equity, community outreach. And I'm not sure about where federal programs will rest, but it was, but I'm not sure that that should be the same job.
Thank you. Happy to modify the
Right.
title.
Thank you. With the emphasis being on, I don't know where federal programs lies, but I'm concerned about the diversity, equity, and community component, that's the
Yep.
position.
Thank you.
You're incorrect, okay.
Is there any other questions on the motion? Mrs. Harder, could we have a roll call vote, please?
Ms. Woods,
Aye.
Mrs. Nicholas,
Aye.
Mrs. Fernandez,
With the caveat I just noted.
Mr. Price,
Aye.
Mrs. Snyder,
Aye.
Mr. Cohen,
Aye.
Ms. Fingles,
Aye.
Ms. Benitez,
Aye.
and Mrs. Rivera.
Aye.
That motion carries unanimously.
The board did meet in executive session last night in regards to employee and personnel matters. Our upcoming board meetings, we have a budget work session number 4 and public question and answers on the proposed final budget, May 26th, 2021 at 6 p.m. There's a regular action meeting, May 22nd at 7:30 p.m. And the intent to adopt the final budget for fiscal year 2020, 2021, June 23rd, 2021 at 6 p.m.
Is May 22nd, isn't that a Saturday?
I think you said the wrong date.
Oh,
Ms.
okay.
Rivera. Yeah, the 22nd is a Saturday.
Oh, okay.
That's what's in here, May 22nd. Should be the 26th.
They were both the 26th, I believe,
It
right?
should be the 26th.
Okay, just checking.
Unless we have a Saturday engagement the rest of us don't know about.
The regular action meeting, I said May 22nd, and it is listed as May 22nd, but it should be May 26th. The same as the question and answer.
Kim, what day's the question and answer?
Sure. At this time, I'd like to entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second?